Hello everyone. We are going to see how to create VTP clients and VTP servers on a Catalyst switch. So we have switch 1 in front of you on your screen. Before we do that, let's see what's going to be our small topology so that it makes things a little more clear. Okay, so we will be having switch 1 here. We will have another switch. We will be connecting both the switches from a trunk link. Let's say this is our fast Ethernet port 0, fast Ethernet 0/1 for both. Okay, this is switch 1, this is switch 2, this is going to be the server switch, and this one is going to be the client switch. Okay, server switch will have VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. We will create VLAN 20 later on, and both the switches will be under a single domain called as Cisco. Both the switches will be using VTP version 1. Okay, so let's verify some of the settings and then we will move on gradually to the other parts. Okay, so to begin with, let's check the VTP version first. Okay, so in switch 1, if you say show VTP status, it should tell you that it is running on VTP version 1. It is capable of running VTP version 2, but as of now it is running in VTP version 1. The VTP operating mode is server, which is default. So if you have a completely blank switch and with no configuration in it, then the VTP operating mode will be server. We need to add VTP domain name as Cisco, as what we have mentioned here. Okay, which we will do it in a while. So three things are important for us. One, the running VTP version. Second, the server switch needs to be in the operating mode as server, right? By default, when you take a fresh switch, it's going to be in server. So even when you go onto the client side, it will still say as the server. So that we will have to change from server to client. So let's do it step by step. Let's first change the operating mode. Let's since it is already into the server mode, we will change the domain name. So we say configure VTP domain Cisco. Okay, then we need to add the fast Ethernet 0/1 as mentioned here. This needs to be part of your trunk port. Okay, this needs to be identified as your trunk port, and this is your trunk link, right? So this is your trunk link, right? So let's convert that into fast Ethernet 0/1 into trunk port. So we are already into the configuration mode. We say interface fast Ethernet 0/1. Okay, switch port mode trunk. That simple it is. Okay, now let's create a VLAN also here. Alright, now before we go and work on to the switch 2, we say VLAN 10, name it as support. Simple. Let's check the VLAN. Okay, it says as VLAN 10, which we have identified as support here. Okay, VLAN 10, which I have identified support, and from the previous configuration, it is already part of the fast Ethernet adapter 0/2 is already part of VLAN 10. We can very well remove it. It's not that we want it. So let's change that too. Okay, configure terminal interface fast Ethernet 0/2 no VLAN access. So we are in interface mode. We say no switch port access VLAN 10. That should remove it from the VLAN, show VLAN, and as you can see, fast Ethernet 0/2 doesn't appear here anymore. Okay, so let's move on to the other configuration. Okay, let's verify everything once again before we move on to the switch 2. We say VTP status, it's still running the VTP version 1, which is nice. The configuration revision has changed to 1. This should reflect on the switch 2. Okay, number of existing VLANs are 6, though we have already created one, but the default VLAN and the other 4 are already part of it. Okay, VTP mode is not enabled, and pruning is also not enabled. Alright, so let's see. Let's now check the counters. Okay, so it says that, you know, summary advertisement received 1, subset advertisement received. The important part is summary advertisement transmitted as 2. Now, you know, if the second switch would have been in the client mode, it would have already taken up the configuration, but it is not. So let's move on to the switch 2 and do the configuration there. So I'm just plugging in the switch 2 and okay, I plugged it into the wrong one. That's switch 1. It should go into the bottom switch, and that should be the switch 2. Okay, great. We say show VTP status. This one is also running as VTP version 1. Okay, it has already received configuration revision. Okay, VTP operating mode is server. It is already part of the domain Cisco. So now let's quickly check. It says show VLAN. Okay, and you already have the VLAN available as 10. Now since it's already part of the domain, hence it's accepted, and ideal situation should be that one of the switch needs to be in the server mode, the other as client. Since both, in our case, both are in server, hence both will be able to send the update, which is not an ideal situation. So we need to change this one into the client mode. So we go into the configuration mode and we say switch mode VTP mode client. Okay, so it says setting device to VTP client mode. We exit out of it, show VTP status. Okay, and there you go, you can see this into the client mode. The configuration revision number is still 1. Okay, now if I go back to the switch 1, make another VLAN there, this switch should be able to receive, and even the configuration revision number should change. So I'm going into switch 1, I'll say VLAN 20, name as admin, as simple as that. I'll not do anything else here. Okay, just for the sake of checking, I'll say show VLAN counters. Sorry, that should be VTP counters. Okay, and then summary advertisement transmitted is 4. So let's see, and what was the revision number? The revision number is now 2. So earlier the revision number was 1, now the revision number is 2. So let me go to the switch 2. Okay, and verify. Say show VTP status. This switch has also received the configuration revision number, which is 2. Great. Say show VLAN. Let me just show you the counters. Okay, it's the same. Summary advertisement received as number 4 here, right? And if I say show VLAN, okay, there you go, you have as VLAN 10 which was already available and VLAN 20 which is now newly created. So in a server and client environment, it becomes easier to manage all other. Imagine you have another switch probably associated here, right? Okay, you know, managing couple of switches is still not a problem, but think about a situation where you have a lot of switches and you have to segregate your traffic and start creating the VLANs, right? So this is where managing it from one central switch, this probably could become your switch 3. You might still have something here as part of your switch 4, right? So in that situation, it becomes pretty easy to manage it from one location, right? So that's the whole purpose. You distribute the VLAN information from one switch. Since these are all going to be the client switches, okay, there's no way they can transmit the data back to this switch. Okay, that's not going to happen, right? That's difficult. So if you manage, then the traffic flows out in this direction. Traffic goes from here to here and to here. So that's the beauty of it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the other video. Thank you.